Go on then. Go on. We need something to throw in, do we? In this vlog today, I'm going to tell you about how I'm approaching the 10 rep max shoulder press in the ATHX Games and give you a little bit of an insight into my philosophy training around illness, sickness and injury, because the 10 rep max shoulder press and injury kind of fall hand in hand. I've just realised, Lucky, this one here, she thinks that the camera You think the camera's a fetching stick, don't you, Lucky? You want to go chasing after it. I am not throwing the stick in the water, or the camera in the water. Let's throw something in the water, shall we, Lucky lady? Here we go, what's this? What's this? Here you go. Ready? Ready? Go on then. Oh my God. Good girl. Come on then. What a good girl. Keep away from that wet dog. And this wet dog too. Hello, Chasey. Chase. Hello. Hello, my friend. Come on then. Having a day off training today. Will I lose all my gains? Maybe, maybe not. My kind, caring son, although I don't sound too bad, has passed his snotty nose onto me. So it's supposed to be a cardio day today, but I'm not doing it because I've learned from my experiences over the years that if you're sick, probably not a good idea to train. So instead of running and biking today, I'm not. So I'm out walking the dogs in my t-shirt for the first time in a long time. It feels like a long time anyway. This, regardless of what you believe, walking a dog is not exercise. Walking a dog is just, well, it's maybe exercise for the dog, but it's just general movement. So I don't count walking the dogs as a training session. If you haven't seen my two previous vlogs, my name's Paul. I am training for the ATHX Games. I haven't done any sort of competitive functional fitness training for the last God knows how many years. So my wife and I have decided to enter it as a team, as a pair in the pro division, and I'm documenting my process. One of the events is a 10 rep max shoulder press. Let's take you back in time. So 10, 15 years ago, I used to love the shoulder press, barbell shoulder press, one of my staples in my training. Not anymore. This is becoming a common theme amongst a lot of the movements that we've got to do for the ATHX Games. Not anymore. Why not anymore? 2014, I broke my wrist. And why did I break my wrist? Because I was stupid, basically. Simple as that. This is a good opportunity to say, if you find this content interesting, subscribe to my channel, because in one of my other videos, I explained 3 reasons why or how you can avoid injury into your 40s, and one of the first reason is use your brain. 10 years ago, I didn't use my brain and I ended up with a broken wrist. So I went into a training session and my knee was hurting. Yeah, I know I'm talking about my wrist, but my knee was hurting because I'd aggravated doing something I probably shouldn't have done. And instead of doing a full clean, so a clean, when you take the bar from the floor, you catch it on your shoulders in a full squat at the bottom. I need to modify my training because my knee was hurting, and so I did a power clean, and that's when you don't catch it all the way down, you catch it a little bit higher up. So I'm conscious about my knee, and because I was conscious about my knee, I think I was a bit stupid in that I miscalculated how much weight was on the bar. So I did my first attempt, what I thought was 110 kilos. I caught my wrist, it snapped back a little bit. I thought, geez, that hurt, that really hurt. You know what, I won't stop there. That's fine, it's 110 kilos. I'll do it again. Yeah, did it again, second time, hurt even more. Had that shot all up my arm. You know, when you get that whoosh of adrenaline, you're like, ooh, yeah, that really hurts now. So as I was contemplating passing out, I added up the weights on the bar. It wasn't 110 kilos, it was 120 kilos. So I'd set up to lift one weight, and I'd actually tried to lift another weight. Went to the A&E the next day, got an X-ray. The student doctor came back and said, yeah, it looks like there's a bit of like shadowing there on the scaphoid. It's a small bone in your wrist, a little bit of shadowing. the other doctor came in just to kind of check over his work. He's like, no, mate. You know, I don't think he said mate, but he said, no, you're wrong. You haven't done anything to it. It's just a shadow. Go away. I was like, all right, okay, fair enough, not broken it. You're the boss, you know. Yeah, 8 months later, I have another X-ray because I was properly, my wrist was fucked for all that time. Yeah, it's broken and necrotic. So necrotic is when the middle of basically the blood supply in the scaphoid, which is a small bone in your wrist, isn't very good. So if the blood supply is not very good and there's a crack in it, the middle just basically falls out. So the middle had fallen out. So I had an operation, bone graft from my hip, pin in my wrist. I think somehow I managed to move the pin, so the pin moved, so I had to have another operation to get the pin out. And that's left me with a wrist, with the flexibility, that's my flexibility in my wrist. And that's it. And it's fixed and it hurts all the time, so I can't do things like a press up. If you ever see me do a press up, I'm kind of doing it on my knuckles. Not because I'm hardcore, it's because I'm an idiot. So I can't do certain movements, and the shoulder press, whilst I can do it, because the mobility in this wrist is totally different to the other side, it affects my shoulder. So while my wrist it aggravates when I'm doing it, the wrist isn't actually that bad. It's the shoulder that hurts because it kind of knocks me all out of line. So that's where I am, but I've got to practice. Like, recently I do dumbbell shoulder press, it's fantastic. A really high incline with a slight little lean back, so my dumbbells are right in front. Great, shoulder press machine's great, lateral, everything. Shoulder press is fine, apart from the thing that I need to be doing for the ATHX Games. About a month ago, I thought, right, let's get these shoulder presses back in. Very, very light. Within a few days, a few training sessions, my left shoulder's flaring up. I was like, oh, this is not good, this is not good. So I've decided to improve on the shoulder press, I'm not going to do the shoulder press, which sounds crazy, but here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to really work on my mobility and flexibility around my shoulder joint and my upper back. How I'm doing that on a daily basis. Normally last thing at night, I am working on doing controlled articular rotations, CARs. It's basically very slow and controlled and very deliberate shoulder circles, and then also through the shoulder blade and then through the upper back as well. That way it's going to help improve the mobility through my shoulder. The shoulder exercises that I'm doing are also going to be helping improve my mobility through my overhead position. For example, a kneeling dumbbell press, that's one of my staples that I'm doing at the moment, and I'm just progressing that and trying to get that as strong as I possibly can. And that's the main two things that I'm going to be doing at this moment in time, seeing as I'm like 5-6 months away from when I need to do the shoulder 10 rep max shoulder press. Because if I just go blindly now and keep pushing that shoulder press, it's not going to work. I'm just going to hurt my shoulder, and I'm not going to get to the desired result. And that desired result, my target is somewhere above 60 kilos for that shoulder press. So that's what I want. I want 60 kilos plus for the shoulder press. Whether I can get that, I'm really not sure. Largely depends on how my shoulder can hold out, but that's probably in the past one of my stronger movements. I've never broken any records, but I know my best, my 1 rep max shoulder press, just before I broke my wrist, it was 91 kilos. I think I did 90 and then I added an extra 1 to get it. So 91 kilos for 1. At that point, I was definitely over 60 kilos for 10 reps, probably closer to 70. So that's where I am with the shoulder press. Avoiding it, improving the mobility, improving the strength in that pressing movement, and then it's probably going to be May, June time. I'm going to slowly add in the barbell shoulder press back in again. Lucky, come on in. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, this is Lucky. She is, can't get her on the face. Let me get you on the, there you go, there you are. This is Lucky. You're very well behaved, aren't you? And then the other one, Chase, Chasey. Not so. Chase, come on then. Middle. Oh, good girl. Good girl, yes. We know what middle is, don't we? because we've got a little bit of ham, and he'll come over now. Now he'll come over, won't he? Now there's some treats. There you go. Good girl. You came first. That's a good boy. If you found this vlog interesting and informative, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and if you're competing in the ATHX Games or competing for anything, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Right, better look after these doggies.